Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories. I'm your host, retired NYPD Sergeant Bill Cannon, a 27-year veteran of the NYPD. This case, Anna Kepner, of course, there's everything is pointing, of course, to the stepbrother, and we have the information that Anna Kepner died from asphyxia, and specifically from a chokehold. They're describing it as a bar hold across the neck. Um, they're also saying there was no SA, and you guys know I'll just use those two letters. But there could have been an attempted SA in which she thwarted, and as a result of that, cost her her life. There had been reports from her ex-boyfriend that she was afraid of the 16-year-old stepbrother. So to say that there was no SA, that's as far as the autopsy report. However, it could have been an attempt in which she fought back, and those actions cost her her life. A family vacation should be about making happy memories for the newly blended Kepner Hudson family. A 6-day Caribbean cruise on the Carnival Horizon was meant to celebrate a fresh start. But for 18-year-old Anna Kepner, the dream trip ended in the darkness of a silent cabin. The search for answers would uncover a story far more twisted than anyone could have guessed, tearing a family apart and pointing toward a suspect nobody saw coming. How did a trip of a lifetime turn into a nightmare at sea? And what really happened behind the closed-door cabin? That is some of the questions that we have. On the evening of November 6, 2025, the last time most of the family saw Anna Kepner alive, she reportedly told them she wasn't feeling well and went back to her cabin for the night. According to an attorney for her stepmother's ex-husband, Anna was sharing the stateroom with her 16-year-old stepbrother. When Anna didn't appear for breakfast the next morning, a frantic search began. That panic turned to sheer horror around 11:17 a.m. on November 7th when a ship housekeeper made a chilling discovery inside the cabin. According to law enforcement sources who spoke with news outlets, Anna's body was found under the bed. When a Carnival Horizon eventually docked in Miami, it was met by a team of FBI agents. Because she died in international waters, the case fell under federal jurisdiction, and the luxury cruise ship was suddenly a crime scene as investigators got to work. The questions piled up. They started reviewing the ship's security footage and analyzing the electronic keycard data from Anna's cabin to build a timeline of who went in and out of the room. They also began interviewing passengers and crew, but the most critical interviews were with Anna's own family. So, again, at this point of the investigation, and many of these things that I'm talking to you about right now, and this is an interactive show, we will talk and you can make your comments. And the biggest question I have, being retired and sergeant in NYPD Homicide Squad, and being a parent of 2 young boys. Well, they're older now, but they were once young. I would never consider putting an 18-year-old girl with 2 16-year-old boys in the same room, step brothers, not even blood brothers, right? And apparently, it was known to the family and others that the 16-year-old had made advances to Anna and that she was leery. She was afraid of him. So who was missing this? Why was this not clear to the parents that this was not a good idea to do this, right? You know, and the FBI remained officially silent, but sources close to the case began leaking information. ABC News, citing sources briefed on the inquiry, reported that preliminary findings suggested Anna may have died from asphyxiation, possibly from a bar hold, a type of chokehold. The same reports mentioned 2 bruises were found on her neck. This preliminary information also indicated no signs of SA and that no drugs or alcohol were found in her system. Though it's important to note the official autopsy and toxicology reports are still pending. As these disturbing details surfaced, the biggest shock was yet to come, not from the FBI, but from a local family court where the case was about to take a stunning turn. Well, the stunning turn was the fact that the 16-year-old boy, the biological son of Chantel Hudson, was a suspect in the death of Anna Kepner. And that is where we are today. And the complexities of this investigation that are made more complicated by the fact that the suspect is a juvenile. So, folks, hold on to your hats. Hold on to your loved ones. Hold on to your thoughts and prayers. Hold on to your service dog. You're about to enter true crime from a police perspective. You're about to enter the off-the-cuff zone. The police off-the-cuff zone. There has to be some common sense.
They were the ones who called 911 to get him help, and now they're calling for change.
So there is some breaking news here. There is some breaking news as far as what actually occurred here. And ABC News has this snippet, and for the first time, the grandparents of Anna Kepner are being interviewed.
With the grandparents of the Florida teenager who was found dead on a Carnival cruise ship, as the girl's stepbrother could be facing charges. Victor Kendra's in Miami. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, George. This is a very tight-knit family. We met Anna Kepner's grandparents just after they learned the cause of death, and they shared some very painful details about what happened on that cruise ship.
This morning, for the first time, the grandparents of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who died on a Carnival Horizon cruise ship earlier this month, breaking their silence.
I just screamed. I couldn't stop screaming.
Barbara and Jeffrey Kepner were on board the 7-day cruise in the Caribbean with their son, his wife, and their grandchildren, enjoying time as a family. Anna staying with her brother and stepbrother in a stateroom, seen here.
Do you remember the last time that you saw Anna?
We had dinner. Anna wasn't feeling well. She just said, Mima, I think I'm going to go back to my room for a little bit. And she must have felt better because she got dressed up and she came down. We were playing in the casino. She didn't win anything. And she said, Mima, I love you guys. I'll see you later. And we never saw her again after that.
The next morning, an announcement over the ship's broadcast system changed everything.
They called for a medical alert team to go to a stateroom. And when they said the number, I recognized the number immediately. The room steward that was going in to clean the room is the one that found her.
She was found concealed under the bed. I was told that she pulled back the mattress and found Anna.
What did the FBI say was the official cause of death?
The FBI contacted my son and family and told us her cause of death was asphyxiation.
Anna's grandmother said one possibility they're considering, whether it was caused by a so-called bar hold, an arm across the neck.
You take the elbow like this. They said when they took her body to the medical examiner's office, it was in perfect condition.
Kepner telling ABC News they were told their granddaughter's body showed no signs of sexual assault or drugs or alcohol in her system. In an unrelated custody dispute, Anna's stepmother calling Anna's stepbrother, who is a minor, a suspect in Anna's death.
Do you think he had anything to do with Anna's death?
I mean, he was in a room with her. He was the only one seen coming and going. So I can't accuse him because I don't know what happened in that room. But the summation would be that he did something.
And has he said anything to you about what happened?
I heard him, in his own words, say he does not remember what happened.
Anna's grandmother says she sat in on a portion of the stepbrother's interview with the FBI.
He was an emotional mess. He couldn't even speak. He couldn't believe what had happened.
Anna's grandparents say she and her stepbrother.
So that right there is very interesting. And there's something that we didn't know, that in fact, the stepbrother, the 16-year-old, was interviewed by the FBI. Interesting that the grandmother was there. Was the grandmother the relative or guardian that would be necessary to be there in order to waive Miranda? Because at some point, if he was a suspect, and if they did have probable cause, the FBI would have to read him Miranda, and he'd have to waive. And a parent or legal guardian of the boy would have to also waive Miranda. I don't think the grandparents, though, of Anna Kepner would qualify as a legal guardian, since they're Anna's grandparents, not the stepbrothers. So where was the mother, Chantel Hudson? Was she also in that interview room? That's some of the questions I have. So what did the FBI garner from this interview? And the grandmother saying he was an emotional mess. Was he in fact drunk? They're saying there was no signs of alcohol on Anna, but not on the 16-year-old boy. Will that be his alibi, his excuse? I don't think that's an excuse. The other thing is, this is international law. It's maritime law. So it differs than the law on the land. And this happened in international waters. So the law regarding the prosecution of a juvenile differs from how it is on the land. Back to ABC News interview.
We're close.
They were just like brother and sister.
What else could you tell me about him?
That he was a good student.
Played soccer.
He played soccer, very quiet young man. He had demons, I think, in his past, and he was trying to deal with those.
Anna's stepbrother has not been arrested or charged with the crime. Attorneys for both the stepbrothers' parents did not respond to ABC's request for comment. The FBI and medical examiner's office also declined to comment. Anna's family focused now on honoring their granddaughter, a high school senior and straight-A student who planned to join the military.
She had purpose. She wanted to do things. And this little tiny 110-pound girl, she was mighty, very mighty.
We were looking forward to seeing her grow.
What do you hope for now in this moment for your family?
I hope that we can heal. Whatever happened in that room, the only person responsible is the person that was in the room with Anna.
What does justice look like for your family?
Whatever the law says, I'm not going to advocate for anything more or anything less.
Wow. So there's a lot of new information there. Obviously, the 16-year-old who's yet to be named by name, the FBI is not officially naming, but we know now that he was in the room with her. We know now that he was interviewed by the FBI. We know now that he had demons in his past, according to Anna's grandparents. What were those demons all about? Is that what could have caused him to do this? I wonder. Folks, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, share us, hit the like button, make lots of comments. And if you want to become a contributor to this show, we have a Patreon with 4 different levels, and we also have a YouTube channel membership with 5 different levels, and you can become part of the Police Off the Cuff YouTube family.
Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident with a commercial vehicle, like an 18-wheeler, delivery van, bus, or rideshare, and you weren't at fault? These cases aren't like regular car accidents. They involve corporations, insurance companies, and complex transportation laws. You need an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. That's where the team at 911 Law Call comes in. We connect you with top law firms that specialize in commercial vehicle accidents and have a proven track record of securing real compensation for victims just like you. The consultation is free. There are no fees unless we win. Call 866-814-2911 now. That's 866-814-2911. 866-814-2911. Justice for commercial vehicle victims starts here. 866-814-2911. No fees unless we win. That's 866-814-2911.
The secrets of what might have happened on that cruise ship didn't come out in a criminal court, but in a family courtroom in Brevard County. Anna's stepmother, Chantel Hudson, was in the middle of a custody dispute with her ex-husband, Thomas Hudson, over their children. It was in these court filings that a bombshell dropped. Both Chantel and Thomas Hudson acknowledged in separate documents that their 16-year-old son, identified only as TH, was a suspect in the FBI's investigation into Anna's death. In one motion, Thomas Hudson's attorney stated the 16-year-old child is now a suspect in the death of the stepchild during the cruise. In her own response, Chantel Hudson confirmed an open investigation was happening and that TH is a suspect regarding this death. So that did officially come out, maybe not from the mouth or an official announcement from the FBI. One of the interesting things also was that on 11/7 at 11:17 hours, Anna was pronounced dead. That does not mean that is the time that she was killed. And that is just the time she was pronounced. There's a good possibility she was killed during the night or the early morning hours. And the body will tell that tale. Things like body temperature, things like rigor mortis, things like algor mortis, things about like when the time cards, the swipe cards, the smart cards indicate that TH, the 16-year-old stepbrother, went into that room. Video surveillance of when Anna went into that room, in addition to the smart card. Where was TH seen before he went into that room? What sounds were heard coming out of that room? And of course, the results of the interview from the FBI in regards to Anna Kepner's death. What did they ask him? And did they make it clear that he was in fact a suspect? Did they make it clear that he couldn't go anywhere? He wasn't free to come and go as he pleased, but that wouldn't have been clear because he was allowed to go. And he was checked into a hospital once he reached the land. And then apparently he was released to a relative. So much of this is certainly ambiguous, but I believe we're going to find out the truth. And everyone wants to know if, in fact, the FBI has evidence that he is the suspect in this. If they have probable cause, why has there not been an arrest yet? This is from ABC News.
The grandparents of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who died on a Carnival Horizon cruise ship earlier this month, breaking their silence.
I just screamed. I couldn't stop screaming.
Barbara and Jeffrey Kepner were on board the 7-day cruise in the Caribbean with their son, his wife, and their grandchildren, enjoying time as a family. Anna staying with her brother and stepbrother in a stateroom, seen here.
Do you remember the last time that you saw Anna?
So that is the biggest, to me, that is the biggest why. The biggest why is, why would an 18-year-old girl be put in a stateroom to stay on a cruise ship with her one biological brother and the 16-year-old, her stepbrother, when it was clear, apparently, to other witnesses that the 16-year-old was obsessed, infatuated with Anna? Why? Why was that allowed to happen? And those are some of the questions I think need to be asked. And I would also, I'm not an expert, and I don't know any experts in international law or maritime law. What is the law regarding the arrest of juveniles and how they are to be charged? Will they be charged as adults? Will they be charged as a juvenile? This is Ashley Banfield.
Cause of Anna Kepner's death. Sources close to the investigation tell us that Anna was asphyxiated, which could mean a lot of things, from suffocation to drowning. But ABC News says that Anna was choked. She was choked to death by an arm across her neck, something called a bar chokehold. ABC also says there were 2 bruises on the side of Anna's neck, but no signs of sexual assault no signs of drugs, no signs of alcohol in her system. But there is still no official word from the medical examiner. Following morning. Joining me now with much more on all of this is Josh Baswell. He's a senior reporter for the dailymail.com. Josh, I keep wondering, it's such a mystery as to how this young girl died. And
that it's a mystery. It's really not a mystery. I mean, they know she died of asphyxiation. They know that the cause was an armbar across her neck. They know her stepbrother was in the room with her. Why do they keep saying this is a mystery? Well, it hasn't officially been put out there by the FBI that the 16-year-old is going to be arrested. They haven't officially put that out there, but we're getting all of this information second and third hand. But it's quite interesting that the news keeps saying that this is a mystery. No, I don't think it is a mystery. I think it's what we know. And I think that shortly we're going to see. It is now the 24th of November. This happened on the 7th, right? So it's more than 2 weeks, right? So pretty soon, I think we're going to see an arrest. This is from CBS News.
Teenager died mysteriously nearly 2 weeks ago aboard a cruise ship in the Caribbean, and we still don't know exactly what happened.
But today we learned some disturbing new clues. Christian Benavides is following the investigation.
CBS News has learned that criminal charges may soon be filed against the step-sibling of Anna Kepner. The 18-year-old high school cheerleader from Titusville, Florida, was found dead on the Carnival cruise ship Horizon the morning of November 7th. Few details have been released, but law enforcement sources told CBS News that Kepner's body was discovered by a housekeeper under the bed in her stateroom. She was on a family vacation with her father, stepmother, and 3 step-siblings at the time of the incident, and according to the Daily Mail, told her family the night before she died she was not feeling well and went back to her room. When she didn't show up for breakfast, a frantic search began.
Certainly, it just points a finger at some level of foul play.
Michael Winkleman is an expert in maritime law.
If Anna was out and about on the ship, there's ship security all over that vessel. They have an obligation to keep their passengers reasonably safe.
CBS News has also learned that investigators are now reviewing the ship's surveillance video and Kepner's cell phone data. They are also examining swipe card access that may have been used to enter the room. In a statement, Carnival Cruise Line said they are cooperating with the investigation. The senior was remembered at her high school, her car covered with balloons and flowers.
I can only imagine the pain that they're going through.
Because Kepner's death happened in international waters, the FBI is taking the lead in the investigation. We've reached out to Kepner's family, but have not heard back. Services for Kepner will be held on Thursday.
So there we are, up to date. And now a word from our sponsor. FanDuel's got an offer you don't want to miss this NFL season. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style. FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is here. The only question is, are you ready to play? You must be 21 years or older and present in select states for Kansas and affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbookfanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE New York, or text HOPE New York in New York. This case is a whirlwind of unconfirmed reports, court allegations, and a family's private pain thrust into the spotlight. In another layer of heartbreak, Anna's biological mother revealed she only found out about her daughter's death through Google searches. For now, a family is stuck in a nightmare. A father mourns his daughter, a mother fears for her son, and a community waits for the truth. The story of Anna Kepner is started as a dream vacation, but it's become a chilling mystery at sea, leaving everyone to wonder what justice will look like for a bright young woman whose life was cut tragically short. The loss of Anna Kepner is a profound tragedy. She was a young woman described as a bright light by everyone who knew her, and her future was stolen on what should have been a happy family trip. The beautiful setting of a Caribbean cruise has become the haunting backdrop for a story of suspicion and heartbreak. The wheels of justice often turn slowly, but what's certain is that a family has been broken forever. The search for the truth about what really happened to Anna Kepner continues, a somber reminder that the darkest secrets can often be found closest to home. This is really beyond tragic. I can't imagine this family, what they're going through now, and how do they now or in the future or ever heal from this. And many, as we had spoken about earlier, many mistakes were made in regards to, and I would say right out, parenting. Bad decision to put an 18-year-old girl with a 16-year-old boy who wasn't her biological brother, a stepbrother, especially when this individual was reportedly attracted to her and obsessed with her. And even though they say there was no SA, we don't know if there was any attempted SA. The autopsy is telling us there was no SA in regards to forensic evidence on the body. But that doesn't cover all possibilities that there was an attempt at this, because it had been said that the 16-year-old boy, known as TH, only released as TH, was obsessed with Anna. And could that have been the motive? And we all know that to prove murder, if in fact this is a murder, it is not necessary to prove motive. But it's something in these cases, and if indeed this case goes forward and there is a trial, that potentially could be the motive. And we will all keep following this case and say prayers for Anna Kepner and her family, but this is a tragedy occurring out at sea. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Bill Cannon from Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. Have a great day, everyone, and God bless.
One episode just ain't enough.